Right, good evening, good evening. The time by my reckoning is 8:03, so that means it's time for another episode of Real Talk in the Simpson Family Home. I am Ian, this is my lovely wife,
Rachel.
and we are Alf Big Family Life in the Simpson Family Home and 4Fs with the Simpson family. The 4Fs simply represent faith. Hey Sam, how you doing, man? God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Faith, family, food, and fitness.
Fitness.
Faith, because we believe that we can do all things through He who loves us. Family, because aside from God, there's nothing more important on this earth. Food, because food is medicine. And fitness, because we believe that overall health and wellness can be achieved by pursuing and maintaining a strong body, mind, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. Yeah, just kill that. Thank you. Yeah, good call. Thank you. How you doing, Sam? I hope the family and everyone is okay. I hope you're holding up well during these times, difficult times. School is going well and everything else. I'm hoping that you're doing well, man. Say hello to mom and dad for us, and God bless you and the family. Yeah, so this is a segment we like to call Real Talk, where we get into just dive into some issues that we've had to overcome in our own personal journeys, as well as our coming together in a blended family, and those issues that we've used the 4Fs, faith, family, food, and fitness, to manifest our best lives. Last night we had a lot of fun with interracial relationships. You mentioned, I had asked the question, "Hey Joey, how you doing? Hey, God bless you. Thanks
I
for
was
coming
just
in."
asking about you today.
She had just asked about you because she was missing you as well. And so last night I had asked the question, can you be woke, or can you consider yourself woke and still be in an interracial relationship? And I think what we had come to, and we had some excellent engagement back and forth. And what I'd come to at the end of the day, and this is just a humble opinion, was that, being as far as being woke and everything else, ultimately, I just believe that we ought to just, once you find a soul that you can connect with and that you love who you love. I mean, whatever the questions and everything else, interracial relationship, everything else, I mean, for me, it comes down to this. Love who you love. And if that person loves you back, right, go forward under grace, right? I, Black, white, yellow, whatever. Love who you love. If that person loves you back, go forward under grace. That's just my humble opinion. Now, the reason that I wanted to revisit this topic was simply that I wanted to give my wife a chance to speak to the importance of honoring the cultural differences in both ethnicities, if you would, especially when there are children involved, right? Especially when you have young kids. And I mean, it's bad enough. It can be challenging enough when you're just adults, young adults, whatever the case may be, and maybe you're going against the wishes of family, friends, whatever, society, whatever. However, it becomes even more challenging when children are involved. And so, as an example, what she had said to me is, I remember we were at Costco a couple summers ago when it was still okay to do that, and I'd come across an indigenous grandmother, I'd assume, and she just had her hands full with this full of energy, rambunctious, obviously biracial child, and I believe he was half black. And I really empathized with her because she was doing her best, and he was he's just just full of energy, and I just struck up a conversation because I had to notice that, his haircut and things like that. Those are important conversations. I mean, because I didn't think that she didn't have that information. And so I gave her some information on where she could go to get a haircut, some of the products that she could use in his hair, and so on. And so those are it's important information when children are involved. So I'm going to get out the way and give my wife an opportunity to speak to honoring both cultures inside a biracial relationship.
Yeah. So yesterday, yeah, we were talking about him. Like you said, we came to just love who you love, no matter the color of their skin, as long as you love who they are on the inside.
On the inside.
Because physical appearance actually really does not matter unless you love who they are on for
I
who
mean,
they really are.
these cute looks gonna go away. These cute looks gonna fade. These cute looks are gonna fade. So thank God she loved me for who I am inside. Because I'm older than her. I'm like 12 years older than her. Yeah, high five for me. Yeah, thank you. Go on, baby.
So it's when you have two people of different cultures, and usually we see that, or what we've seen is that, yeah, we are indigenous and Jamaican in this home. And so we have two different cultural values. There are similarities. However, we've come to respect one another's culture, and also to by respecting, we're honoring each other in each other's aspects of our life. So it's when the children are involved, it's having them involved and having them, sitting down and having those conversations, because one, identity is very important for
Very
children. Who do they identify as, and what do they want to know? So by having those conversations and saying, hey, what do you know, and what do you want to find out? Because we're off the reserve. We don't live in the community. So for the children, the little one, she just asked me the other day, can we smudge? So we have to honor the fact of our smudging and what it brings, and incorporating culture into our daily lives.
Can you quickly take a second and let anyone who might not be familiar with smudging?
No, smudging, yeah. Smudging is just, we use sage at home here, cedar or sweetgrass, and it's just to cleanse our home, getting rid of the negative thoughts and negative energy within the home, and just breathing it in.
Joey said that I'm sure it wasn't your old man PJs yesterday that won Rachel's heart. I'm gonna shut up now. Yeah, yesterday was PJ day and the PJ broadcast day, and yeah, those were some old man PJ. But she looked cute as all get out, though, didn't she? And I just wanna take a moment to very quickly remind our viewers, or just let our viewers know. I know I can see, because I'm using an app to manage the multiple platforms that we stream to, and I can see that that we have visitors in the room with us. However, I can't see who you are. So unless you send us a message, just like Joey did just there, and if this becomes interactive, it just makes it a lot more enjoy. Yeah, it's just so if please, and if you just want to be a silent observer, then God bless you. If you have any questions, concerns, and if you disagree, please feel free to voice your disagreement or your opinion, because we are committed to the idea that we can agree to disagree and not hate each other. Hey, if we agree to disagree, that might be an opportunity for me to learn something. I'm not so attached to any of my opinions that if they end up being wrong, I can't replace them with something more right. So God bless you, and thank you for stopping in. Get out the way. Go ahead, sweetheart.
And so just going back and honoring each other. So that's one of the ways that we implement our cultural practices here at home. One way that I guess you implement is through his food.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of Jamaican ingredients, and
mostly pepper.
A lot of pepper. Scotch bonnet pepper.
Yeah, that's really the only Jamaican ingredient. Yeah, it's pepper.
So it was, everybody had to learn. We all had to learn. We all had to
the pepper, yeah.
Yeah, and try, and like the food is different for us. It was a lot of processed. Like I grew up on a lot of processed, a lot of fried food, and I didn't have very good outcomes out of that. However,
you did the best that you could with what you had, with the knowledge that you had.
I get that. It's just so we made that switch in what we eat. The kids, they had a very bland palate before. And so like Ryder, he was so hesitant of goat. Like he just look at it and
my curry goat wasn't a hit with him.
And over time now he's actually,
Requesting it.
yeah. So it took, time to, get everybody adjusted, and like Jasmine, being 16-year-old female, and she had to work her way to loving oxtail. But it's one of the things that we've done at home. And I can't say it. Like, I'm really bad at speaking.
Stop.
So no, I'm just
Here's
saying.
my hammer. Where's my hammer? Let me get
So
my...
it's see, no, look it. I'm trying to say the word patois.
Oh, patwa.
See there, see, you corrected me right away, but that's, see, I can't.
You've never
but
said the word before, so how
Yeah,
are
I
you just...
have.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Not to me.
Yeah, you've
Sorry.
corrected me.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
So, he speaks. I can actually understand, but you'll
So
never
can the
ask me.
kids.
Yeah, but I won't speak it. The kids understand. However, I think Callie's the only one that she'll try. And so it's just, yeah, I just love that our home is full of culture.
It is.
The one thing that I noticed that I guess not struggled with, but I needed help understanding, was the hair texture. Because of, Jordan, he was growing his hair out, getting him to actually be involved in what he wanted. So he had a voice in what kind of hairstyle he wanted. And so it was up to me to say, okay, let's try this product. So I had to go online, look up what was good, and it was trial and error. However, we found the product that works for his hair because it's of mixed.
It's
So
biracial
it's fine.
hair.
It's fine, but it's also super curly.
Right, and the thing with Jordan's hair is that even for me as Jordan's father, it was like the struggle has always been real because his hair is not like mine, and Noah's hair is not like mine. Justice's hair, Nathan, the oldest, his hair was most like mine, and his hair is not like mine. So I mean, it was information that I didn't have either. Right, so I mean, it was awesome because her and Jordan got together, and her and Jordan kind of figured it out. Because I did not have that information. I just the best I could do was that, it was so fortuitous when Modern Man opened up in the city. Because now, these guys had somewhere they could go to get a decent haircut. Because, there were other barbers in the city. But like I grew up going to, what's his name there? Mo at Polo Park back in the 80s, 90s. Mo at Polo Park, and then Smitty down at downtown there on Balmoral. Like every once in a while I still see Smitty down there, but however, these guys were just, fade cutters, you know what I mean? One size, number one cut and then a fade on the side. So well, brother Wes, God bless you. God bless you, brother. Thank you for stopping in. God bless you. How are you? I hope you and the family are well. Brother Wes is from WEC. He was, remember when that retreat that we went to?
Yeah.
Remember I tell you about it? That's him in that picture of Justice and that young man. That's his son. They were best friends.
Okay.
Yeah. This was my best. This was my dude, my best friend, my brother in Christ when I was. And then of course I went to Saskatchewan, and the wheels fell off the bus. And, this is us kind of trying to reconnect a little bit. Blessings, brother. Thank you. And I hope the family is well. Thank you for checking us out. God bless you. Where were we, sweetheart? Mo. And so it was really Jordan who was very instrumental and I mean, it makes sense because I mean, we cannot, you as well, I can't see you now. However, I hope to see you soon when this stuff, we got to get together, get the families together. This is my wife. This is my wife, Rachel. Please meet my very good friend Wes. I got married. We got married. Well, not just me. We got married 2 years ago now, baby. September 2018.
19.
19?
Yeah.
19?
Yeah.
We got married in 2000. Why didn't we get married in 2018?
I don't know.
Okay, we got married in 2019, and by grace, we're just over here manifesting our best life. We're a blended family now of like 10. So
Nice to meet you.
you're gonna love her when you meet. Yeah, she's terrific. She's the best person I know. She's just absolutely. She's been a godsend. Absolutely. I mean, God used my brother as an instrument to bring us together. Yes, 100%. We do need to connect soon. I will DM you. I'll inbox you and I'll send you my number, and then that way we can make that happen sooner than later, right? So that's fantastic. Thank you, bless you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you so much. Bless
Oh,
you.
bless you.
Wow, that was a lot. You know, that's a big sneeze coming out of such a little person. Are you okay? All right. Is your head still on your shoulders? We're good. All right. So so then Jordan was very instrumental in figuring out what was best for his hair care, right? And then when Modern Man opened up before that, again, it was just so now you have some more. They seem to be a little bit more hip, a little bit more. I don't know what to tell you. They
Diverse.
just diverse. They seem
Yeah.
to have more experience dealing with biracial hair because I mean, quite honestly, it seemed it's a thing now. I mean, like biracial children. I mean, they're everywhere, and that's not a judgment or an opinion or it's just a fact. It's just what it is, and it's a tough place for them to be because I mean. Noah, for instance, the 6'8" one, he's big and he's light skinned, so life was easier for him than me. However, he's got dreads. He's always identified as black, so that created problems for him. And you know what I mean? Big black, yeah. Jordan, again, light skin, and he's tall. However, he's very unassuming. And, he mostly, I would say, identified probably as being white because he spent more time with mom. She wasn't very good at ensuring that she honored both cultures. So since the children are now with us, it's incumbent that we do that. We let them know that, hey, you know what? You're the best of both worlds. You don't have to be pigeonholed into one. You are the best of both. And so, you need to honor that, honor that. You're neither white or black. You are the best of both. And you can, and I mean, as far as self-identifying goes, that's entirely up to you. However, know that you're both, not just one.
And so, yeah, that's it. He's been, I guess we're still with Jordan, that, we found what works for him. Now we've started with Justice since October, so he's now finding the right products for him, and it's like, what does he like? What does he want? And so he's able now to communicate and say, okay, I want it long.
And now Ryder, after 3 years, has decided he wants to grow his hair out a little bit. I think he's thinking something like, it's sounding like a mullet. I'm not too excited about that. Hey, man, it's his hair. It's his hair. I mean, do what you want. I mean, she wasn't very happy when Jasmine cut her hair. Jasmine, the 16-year-old, had hair down to her bum.
Yeah.
Her upper back, if you would. I mean, it was. However, that was part of her healing journey. When we came over to this side, she needed to resolve some issues within herself. And she came to me, and her and mom went to get a haircut, and mom couldn't speak, so Jasmine came to me, and she was like, over the phone, she's like, I think I'm gonna chop it all off. What do you think? And I was like, I think you got to just do whatever makes you happy. I mean, it's hair; it'll grow back. However, just and she cut a foot.
I think it was just over a foot of hair.
She cut off a foot of hair, and she kept it. She still has it because that was important, and that's a huge change. However, it was part of her healing journey. It's something she felt she needed to do. Maybe she was. It symbolized a new start for her, and so we honored that, And as I predicted, it's growing back. now, baby talking about wanting to cut her hair, and I'm like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
I don't know about it. Because her hair has gotten so long, it's down to the top of her bum now, and the lower back, and I mean, of course, I'll be like, yeah, that's your hair, baby. Cut it. You want to cut that off. Yeah, you want to cut it off. I'll support that. Whatever. I'm just like, I'll cry inside a little bit, a lot. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just hair. I mean, right? Yeah. Let me get out the way. Go ahead.
No,
sweetheart.
and I think it's for us, like, we are very open-minded, very respectful of each other. And what we've also had to deal with is that the people that surround us or used to surround us were not very supportive, especially the other respective parents of the children, because they didn't have that much growth in themselves. So just being positive with the kids and, what are you going to say? Hi? Being, okay. I love you. We're having grown up talk, okay? All right, thank you.
So it's bedtime. It's almost bedtime. So yeah.
So it's a challenge in that aspect. However, we don't allow it to
Oh, hi Carla. God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. I'm drinking. She wants to know what I'm drinking. I'm drinking. This is Space Jam. This is that Michael Jordan secret juice. You remember from the movie Space Jam, and that's gave them all the superpowers. Well, that's what I got here. I just got, or I can go to the Water Boy. This is some high quality H2O with lime in it. Lemon. We do a lot of lemon and lime water in the home, simply because they are excellent antioxidizers, and they keep everything moving, and everything doing what it's supposed to do. We're big water drinkers in the home.
you got that.
Love you. So you see, he come out here. Put your head down. He just come out the shower, right? And he working his magic and figuring out what he want to do with his hair. And that's looking lovely. Look at that there. Yeah, that's nice. Good job. Yeah, Jordan's training you nice. All right, go on now. I looked at Jordan one time. I said, you pretty, Carla. You'll appreciate this. You'll appreciate this. I said, you pretty. I said, look at you. Who would have thought that I would end up having a pretty boy for a child? End up having a pretty child. Me of all people, right? Who'd have thought I'd end up having I used to beat up kids look like you when I was a kid. No, I'm just kidding. That was very much when I was a kid, like grade 6, 7, yeah. And that's what, we did that talk on bullying, and that's what bullying will do, right? When you're bullied as a child, it will turn you, and you grow, it'll turn you into a bully. And then I was bullied, and then it turned me into a bully for a little while, but I knew that I didn't care for bullying. And then I put on the mantle of being a bully. Secret juice, that's right, Sam. And then thank you. And I put on the mantle of being a bully, and that didn't fit either. That didn't fit either. I did that for a little bit. That didn't feel right either. That didn't feel, that wasn't right. And then I eventually got to the point and put on the mantle of being an advocate. And that feels most right. That feels most right. And Carla shared a memory with us the other day. She said that she was in some situation back in high school, and I stood up for her. And God bless you for sharing that memory, because it's so encouraging in my soul that it's good. So do you remember, Joey and Carla? We had, I think it was the '88 Winter Games, right? This is when I'm gonna tell the story. This is when. Yeah, amen, Joey. This is when I decided I could no longer be a bully. Okay, so it was like I think it was the '88 Winter Games. The candle. It was in Calgary, right? And if you remember, they gave us these little candles shaped like the Olympic torch. It was a candle, and it had a little shutter because it was winter, a red shutter around it so you could light the candle, because at the time they thought it was a good idea to give some. I was ready to shot my. Thank you, Carla. Carla said she was scared, and I came and helped her. God bless you, Carla. And they thought it was a good idea to give some inner city kids fire. I mean, okay, nothing came of it. However, this is my story. I can share this story, and I share this story not because I'm proud of it, and this is gonna wound me a little bit sharing this story. However, I want to share it. This is when I decided I could no longer be a bully. And if you too remember, you can help me out, Joey and Carla, when we had those. I think it was the '88 Olympics Winter Game here in Canada, and I think the '88 Winter Games was in Calgary. So they gave us these little candles, right? And this was was right after, shortly after my mom had passed, right? And I was, so we had the candles in school, right? And there's this young fellow there, right? And he was sitting. Do you guys remember as we come from the junior cafeteria, right? You come out from the junior cafeteria and you're walking towards the senior end of the school. To the left there, beside the French classroom over here, to the left there was a bathroom, men's and women's bathroom. Then there was a couple classes, I can't remember whose classes, tucked in a little hallway there, right? To the left. And in the doorway to the men's bathroom, women's bathroom, there's a little guy sitting there, right? And he had just a gorgeous head of hair. He did. I mean, I even at the time, even though he just had a really, it was long, beautiful. That was the thing back then, right? Because that was the precursor to like Axl Rose and things like that, that kind of music, right? And that was the thing. And he was just sitting there, and I was just so broken and hurting inside. I think that the only thing that I could have thought in that moment is that I'm so hurting inside. Why should he have such spectacular hair? And please understand that I don't I don't enjoy this memory. However, I want to share it because accountability means something. And I failed miserably as a human being in that moment. Give us a moment, please. So he was sitting there, and for whatever reason, in my I said to him, I said, "Hey man, get up." And he's like, "Nah. If you don't get up and get moving, I'm gonna set your hair on fire." And he's like, "I don't care, man. I don't care. Can you give me a minute, please? Just go do." Yeah, thank you. And he's like, "I don't care." I didn't believe him. I said, like, how could you not care if I do that? I mean, how could you not care if I did that? I didn't believe him. I was prepared to call him out. And I said it again, and he's like, "I don't care." So I called him out. And I did probably one of the most horrible things and one of the most horrible acts I've ever committed in my entire life. One of the most heinous acts another human being could commit against another human being. Because I didn't believe him. I was not convinced of his conviction of belief. I took my candle and I and he just sat there. He actually didn't care. He just sat there. Didn't move. I had to put it out. He just sat there. And to this day, it bothers me that I failed so miserably as a human being because I could have possibly and potentially saved his life. Because that guy, as much as I was going through, that guy had to have been going through so much more than I was having to endure. Because as much as I was going through, I mean, I still cared. Thank you, baby. Mm-hmm. And that's when I decided I couldn't be a bully no more. And I think that that's probably the one sin I've never forgiven myself for. And I just wish I could know that that guy's okay. Yeah, it's such a beautiful head of hair too. Go ahead, babe. Yeah, I'm drinking water.
You good, babe?
Hmm.
Well, I don't know where you want to go with this now. Um, yeah. So that's, I guess that's accountability. And that's growth. And when there's a term that you always use is that that's your past and you don't live there. However, you are working through those. You're working through it. You're taking responsibility. You're holding yourself accountable.
I'll say this. Thank you, my love. I'll say this. You just never know what somebody's dealing with. You can't. You just never know what somebody's going through. You can't. Because some of the most broken people in the world, you would look at them and you would think that they were the most strongest. They've got their shit together. Because that's just what we do. And I said that to say this. It costs us nothing to be kind. It costs us nothing to be kind. And I don't know a much more greater feeling than when you're kind to somebody and it's received. You know, because it's not always your kindness is not always received. And that's okay. We're not responsible for how the world receives our kindness. We're not responsible for what we get from the world. We're just responsible for what we put into the world, right? And I would say that, you know, 9 times out of 10, when we put kindness into the world, kindness is going to come back to us, right? Tenfold, right? Hundredfold, right? 1,000-fold, right? I would just encourage us to be committed to being kind, because we never know. There's one of my favorite stories. It says this child. He says that he's having this man is talking about talking, giving a speech at his wedding, and he's talking to his best man, and they've known each other their entire lives, right? They met back in high school, and he looked him in his eyes and he said, you know, I've known you now going on 20 years. We met in high school. And he recounted the story of how they met. What had happened was that he was going home. He had his books, and this dude, and he did the big guy, football player, you know, popular, bumped him, and you know, usually he's invisible to these guys, and you know, he bent to pick up his books, and something weird happened. This guy bent to help pick up the books with him, and then was helping him, and he was like, you don't have to. It's like, no, that was my fault. I'm so sorry. Let me help you here, right? And that was the beginning of what ended up being a beautiful friendship. And you know, he recounted that day at his wedding, and he says that he said to the guy, he says, what I never told anybody, what nobody knows. You saved my life that day. He says that it had become too much. I was cleaning out my locker because I was going home to end it. The bullying, it had become too much. And I was going home. I had a plan. I had a course of action. I had everything laid out. And come on now, quickly. Good night. Love you.
Night.
And he said that, and your simple act of human kindness saved my life. So I encourage you, please, please. It costs us nothing to be kind. It costs us nothing. Thank you for sharing, being so, and please be easy on yourself. That's something that we're working through with my counselor, with our counselor. Yeah, she's very gently intimating to me that I need to be kinder to myself as well. And so thank you for that. Yeah. When you know better, you do better. That's a fact. Good night, sweetheart. Wait, that is a fact. When you know better, you do better. And I think you've forgotten the amazing human being we know you are, and continue to. God bless you, Joey. God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Yeah. That's a tough memory. I keep it close though. I keep it close to the surface. I don't ever want to let it go because I don't ever want to become that person again. And if I become too comfortable with that memory, you never know what complacency being what it is. So I keep that memory close. All right, back on topic. So thank you for indulging me, and thank you for your grace and forgiveness. Thank you. So yeah, the importance of just honoring both cultures in a biracial, bicultural relationship. It's important to the children that they have that knowledge of. I once said to my ex, I says that it's not that I'm trying to indoctrinate the children into a certain way of thinking or into a certain way of feeling. I says that that same pride that they feel in knowing that they're white, I just would like them to have that same pride in knowing that they're also half black. And that's it. It's not that I'm diminished. I don't feel that one needs to be diminished because so that the other can increase. No, life is just about balance. Get out the
And
way.
that's exactly what I had went through, and that's our past experience, especially with the ex partners and raising children with them. Even for the children to hear that, oh well, your mom's just half white, and it was as used as a derogatory towards me to the children, especially when I was in a First Nation community. Say
Hey
what?
Daniel, God bless you. You got a question there. Give us some context, please. I don't. Yeah, go. You'd have to type out your question, please, brother. Thank you.
And so, yeah, that was just something that I had to go through, especially with the children that, even though mom was biracial, it was used as a tool or a weapon to hurt me. No. And so now it's so much easier, especially that we're both on the same path and
Yeah.
the same journey, the same respect, and just allowing our children to grow and develop into who they are, who they want to become, and supporting them. And I think that implementing cultural teachings into all of them, not into just one group, as we said, we
Yeah, honoring
each
each
side.
culture. For us, for instance, the boys, Jamaican, Canadian, Ukrainian, right? So they were only aware of their Canadian, Ukrainian heritage, and so now that they're here with me, with us, they're more aware of their Jamaican heritage, right? And I have to speak on this. This is a huge no-no. Quote: All Jamaicans are fill in the blank. Please, parents, if you're upset with your partner, right, or your ex, whatever the case may be, don't derogatorily refer to your ex's ethnicity, right? Don't derogatorily speak on your ex. And I mean, especially because
Racial slurs.
racial slur, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The child is half of that slur. The child is half of that ethnicity. So every problem that you're telling the child that you have with the dad, guess what? The child is going to internalize that because they're half of the dad, right? So we feel that it's important there. Daniel asked why we have to honor both cultures. We feel that it's important because, the child, to offer the child balance. You're not, in our case, you're not black, you're not white, you're not wholly black and you're not wholly white. You're something somewhere in the middle, and so we're going to give you both sides of the whole, both halves of the whole, and you can decide from there the type of man you want to be.
Because in my experience, you don't really even. I never fully committed, or not fully. I was never fully accepted on either side of
Right.
the family. It was hard, And I wasn't given that tool or that even that knowledge of both sides when I was in mostly my mother's home. I was fully immersed in indigenous, and then being with my dad, that's something I had to catch up on. And so I want to be able to give the kids those tools to say, hey, this is who I am.
Sis, oh my God, God bless you, my Andrea. Hi, she joined us on the gram. Maybe she's gone. She popped in and bounced back out. I'm not sure. If you're still there, God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. Sorry, sweetheart, go.
No, and that's it. That's how I see it. It's giving them the tools to decide who they are, because for us, we are our children's first teachers, and if we want them to be kind and respectful, we have to model it for them. And that's why I feel that we made this decision as parents to model that behavior and be respectful of everybody's identity.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just the idea of inclusivity, the idea of tolerance, the idea that, we all share this realm that we live in. And so the sooner that we learn to cohabitate peacefully and respectfully, and we're just trying to do our part. You see, I thought that I could make a change in this world, and I'll get to your comment in just a second there, Daniel. I says that I thought that I could make a change in this world. Good night, son. By outside in. I was looking for, hey, Jordan, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Say hi to Jivy for us, please. I was looking at it from the perspective of saying that I want to try to effect change in the world, and that change will come back to my family, right? To make the world a better place for my family, right? That was my idea. That was my perception. I wanted to make the world a safer, better place for my family. Absolutely, Carla. We'll get to that comment. Hang tight a second, please. And what she had to teach me very patiently is, and she's such a patient teacher, is that 7 billion people is too many to save. Let's start with the 10 inside this home, right? And so then I had to shift my focus to say that, okay, my primary responsibility becomes not my family of origin, not my family of choice, but the family that I created. Right? And then once God is pouring into me, I pour into the kids, we pour into the kids, and the overflow pours into the world. And that's how we think we can affect change into the world. We pour into our kids. So instead of trying to change the world to create a safer place for our children, right? We gonna pour into our kids and let that flow over into the world. And that's just how we view that, and we're up here trying to manifest our best lives. Before I deal with a couple comments here, sweetheart, did you want to piggyback off that at all?
No,
okay. So first of all, Daniel had said that's not how it goes. You're actually removing a percentage of the dominant DNA with the interracial breeding. And I don't dispute that. I don't.
And I just want to say, from what you had told me, is that no matter what happened in his past, the boys were meant to be his regardless.
Right. Okay.
I feel that, I hear what you're saying. However, it was his choice, and his the boys are meant to be.
And what she's referencing is I'd always said that if I had to do it over, I wouldn't do anything differently, because I would run the risk of not having my children. Right? And then I resolved in my heart, something told me that no, those boys were meant to be mine, and all it was for me to choose whom their mother would be. Now, I can't know whether or not that's true. I just feel that it offers me comfort. Now, as to you saying actually removing a percentage of the dominant DNA, yeah, I don't dispute that. I just I actually just I don't care. I'm not
It's
really.
not that you don't care. It's more, it's your choice.
Yeah,
It's
no,
your
I don't
choice
care.
You know, it's your choice.
Yeah,
You're
okay, you're right.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love who I love, and I mean, although in my trauma, I made some poor decisions and poor choices. However, the result that came out of that union, that initial union, were those four beautiful boys. I wouldn't change that for the world. And whether they're black or white, to me is whether they're full blooded black or the fact that they're half white, that doesn't register for me. That
It
doesn't
doesn't make you
again
love them less.
or more.
Yeah.
again,
Right.
again, Doctor, as I said yesterday, Dr. King said that I have a dream. I have a dream that one day my children will be judged by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. Again, that applies. So yeah, that's just my personal journey, and I can't say, that's not judgment. That's not. I mean, do you? And I mean, whatever makes you happy, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. I'm committed to that. Yeah, but my personal thing is in the space that I'm in, that doesn't play a role for me.
And then there's the third culture of learning to be
And
Canadian.
then there's the third culture of learning to be Canadian. Carla.
Yeah, and that's so funny because it's like indigenous.
Immigrants.
Yeah, no, but
Immigrants
even indigenous people to this land still have to
learn to be Canadian.
learn to be
Wow.
Canadian. I'm in that boat too, and yet.
No,
And
then take
that's
as much time as you need to
no,
give
and
your
that's
context,
probably
Daniel, if
a
you have the patience.
conversation that we can have together because it's something that is just not coming across through
Yeah,
text
it's
or
tough.
message. And I think
And if
that's
you have the
something.
patience to type it out, we'll give you the airtime, no problem. But go
Actually,
ahead,
no,
Susan.
I'd rather have that conversation in person because then it's more
Okay.
interactive for me to learn anyways. Because
Okay,
I'm
fair
not
enough.
getting
Oh,
what I
you're
need
okay.
from this
Fair
right
enough.
now.
But go on.
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm saying,
too lazy to type. I'm good.
And that's why I said you're gonna have to come over and we're gonna have to go into a good conversation on this. However, yeah. So
Learning
the
to be
third,
Canadian.
learning to be Canadian. So yeah, and I totally agree with you on that piece. It's go ahead, baby. You were gonna say something, and
No,
then I
you're
cut you.
speaking.
No, I was
No,
done.
you're talking.
Go ahead. Go
What?
for it.
Okay. Now, learning to be Canadian. Now, I mean, I think yesterday we talked about Everett Wallace, that gentleman that, what is that? What's
Oh,
dying? Your controller? Okay.
that's my Xbox.
Okay. We spoke on Everett Wallace. This gentleman found me when I was incarcerated as a young man. Yeah. No, not on this. He says you can do it. Guest add-in. As I said, I'm using a separate app to manage the multiple platforms that I'm streaming to. So this is not just going to Facebook. So if I were doing a Facebook Live, then absolutely I could add you in, and that's something that we can talk on, and we can set that up for the near future, 100%. However, this one is going through my Streamlabs app because it's managing multiple platforms for me. No. Again, this is going through my Streamlabs app. It's managing multiple platforms, so I can't add anybody. You'd have to be in studio with us. And if I can, then I don't know how. I have to talk to the IT department, and he's out right now. Jordan. GQ Jordan, you with the good hair. As the IT department. He's our IT. So I spoke on Everett yesterday, and he tried to mentor me for a short time, and I wasn't in a place to receive his grace. And what it was that he had spoken on my behalf to my father, the idea that you can't just bring your son here and drop him off in this country and not give him any information and not give him any context on what it means to be Canadian, right? It's no wonder that he's struggling, right? And that's an absolute truth, because now as a child, I'm plucked up off the tiny island of Jamaica, and I'm seeing white people for the first time in my life. And I'm seeing brown people and Filipinos and so on and so forth. And yes, absolutely, there is absolutely an adjustment period. There is absolutely, if I would have had a handbook, yeah. Because I mean, not only what does it mean to be Canadian, and I'm a citizen, that's all the benefits that come with that, and I'm grateful for that. I got my citizenship in '88 because we had to go for Mom's funeral, passports and whatever. Lost thought. And not only what it means to be Canadian, but what does it mean to be a black man trying to live in Canada, or a black young person trying to fit in a Canadian white society when all you knew prior to that was poverty, really, but just everything was different, right? Well, not poverty. We weren't impoverished. We were.
It's just a different lifestyle.
It's a different lifestyle, man. Like when dad was there, and I mean, dad was working. Mom, from what I remember, I was very young, so it's hard. Carla, it would be interesting if guys you had a round circle open discussion. Yeah, I've been trying to put together something like that for a while now, with these, I feel my spirit is feeling lighter. Like maybe there's, something is about to change. That maybe something.
We can see people.
Yeah, my spirit. I'm feeling that something is about to change. These restrictions are gonna lift, and I mean, if. Third world versus first world living. Absolutely. Daniel, that was from Daniel.
I know, but it's like also we have third world within this first world.
Absolutely.
So
and they're called
that's
communities.
Why, yeah. And so it's just
First Nations communities. Yeah. Yeah. And I would absolutely, if you're interested, Carla, let's set that up. Mm-hmm. I would love to have you sit on a panel. Joey, Angie, you know what I mean? Daniel. Absolutely, yeah. This is yeah. We could do that, 100%. But third world versus first world. Our parents, Joey said, our parents would have been considered the working class poor. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Podcast. Space Jam juice all around. Yes. Space Jam juice all around. Absolutely.
Lots of water and lots of lemons and limes.
And lots of good times and fellowship. And yeah. And so, I mean, if you got the time there, Carla, you chime in, please. And on what was the most difficult thing in learning how to be Canadian? And, what are the expectations of, in the classroom, in school? It's different. It's just, yeah. And then Carla.
That just reminded me, this elementary I went to school with, our principal, like my principal growing up in the elementary, he used to have this wooden board up on the wall that he used to use to spank children years before.
Wow.
And so that's why when you said like going to school, because by the time my mom went to school, like still again, they were still punished at regular school, for speaking their language. And I went to that same school, and that principal, who was her principal, the punishment, like the board was still hanging on the wall as if a trophy. So.
Or a reminder.
A reminder, yeah.
I mean, again, the memories from my youth and in my childhood in Jamaica, I remember, I don't remember a lot, but I remember that, across the street, there was a field. And I seem to remember it was maybe run down to rubble, I don't know. But when you got whipped, there was a bush that grew over there that you could rub into to take the burning away. I remember that. Yeah, so I guess where that takes us is that, the Simpsons are committed to the idea that we have to honor all the cultures within our home. We're a multicultural family, multiracial family, and we feel that, it's best for the children to know all facets of their personality and to come to terms and to know themselves, to better love themselves. They have to better understand themselves. And I firmly believe that in order to know where we're going, we have to first know where we've come from. Mm-hmm. Having said that, that's not a lesson for us to dwell there in the past. It's just a lesson. There are tools there. There's tools that we can use to help us navigate into the future, but it's not for us to dwell. Joey said, I still remember getting the strapping gate 1 for stabbing Jeff Richards with my... Why would you have stabbed Jeff? Jeff Richards. He had the long dark hair. Hockey. Was he the hockey guy? He played hockey as a kid. He was good, too. He lived at Westminster in Lenore. That would have been down the street from you. Mm-hmm. Why would you have stabbed him with a pencil? That was before my time. That's grade 1. I didn't come till grade 3. Mm-hmm. I came to Canada in grade 3. And I should say it was his hand, not his eye or anything. That's I remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, nailed it. Whatever happened to him? Do you know anything? No. And I got to get a hold of Tommy, Joey, Tom Angarakis. I heard York told me the other day that he managed to cure his vision because he's had glasses since high school, and he no longer wears glasses. And he intentionally did some stuff that he stared at a top for 40 minutes spinning, and he no longer needs glasses. He has 20/20 vision now. So I'd like to talk to him about that. That's a conversation I'd like to have, you know? So, yeah.
No, it's just been, yeah, I just like having conversations. So we're kind of like, and then memory lane is it's awesome. And I think that's one of the things because Joey, like you grew up with him and he shared so many stories of what you teaching him how to ride a bike and yeah, just to
It's
have
like
you
I
guys in
stepped
a
off-
room and just
Yeah, right? That'd
Yeah.
be cool. I stepped off the plane and into her family's living room.
yeah.
It was good times. And then right across the street from her was the Schoolisons. Andrea, Heather, and little Maggie. And little Maggie's a grown. I remember I saw little Maggie on Facebook in a picture several years ago, probably in the last decade or so. I had reconnected with the sisters. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that little Maggie? And the mom has passed and so on and so forth. But, you know, that's life. God bless them. And, you know, Jeff went down a dark path and I lost track of him. Tom just spoke with him yesterday. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Hey, Joey. Let's connect after, and then you can pass my contact information on to Tom for us, please. For us, please, and see if he'll reach out. Because that's probably the best way to do it, as opposed to my asking you for his contact. Give him an opportunity to, because maybe he don't want to reach out. He doesn't want to reconnect, and that's cool too, right? That's cool too. And is he still married to that gal from high school there? They were high school sweethearts. And she was, I never knew she had a prosthetic leg. I didn't know her. I actually didn't speak to her because she was in senior high and I was in junior high, and you just didn't do that. Yeah, you just didn't do that. However, Tom somehow managed to get the courage and he married her. Or said, well, they were something. They were, thank you, and they had connected. I don't know if they got married, but they were a couple for a while afterwards. And he was like, "Yeah, she has a prosthetic leg." I'm like, "What? What are you even talking about? How is it she has a prosthetic leg? How did I not know that? How would I have known that?"
Because you're so curious, and now that you something
right,
you don't know,
right?
it's actually bothering. Yeah,
It's bothered me, right? Exactly. But I would have had no reason to know. But not married. Okay, right on. Thank you. You remember who I'm talking, man? Obviously, she was cool. Yeah, I never talked to her though. She seemed like a nice enough person. Like, I mean, she wasn't standoffish or anything. I was debilitatingly shy back then. I was just, oh
I don't
my
know
gosh,
how.
I don't know how I got married either. Daniel says, I'm all about family. I'm glad you record these. Some of the things you said is sounding Uncle Tom-ish, but maybe I'm in my feelings. Fair enough. Thank you for that, Grace, and thank you for the benefit of the doubt. And Joey, she's amazing. And you know what I love about you, Joey, is that I've come to realize you are the glue that holds that connection together. Like, I mean, you manage to maintain and stay in touch with just about everybody. That is amazing, and I think it speaks to your character and the quality of friend that you were back then and the quality of friend that you've remained steadily throughout the years. You know what I mean? So good for you. You're amazing and we love you.
I better start talking to all my friends on Facebook.
Are you feeling conscious?
Yeah, I'm feeling some sort of way.
Feeling some kind of way.
Yeah,
now?
I just have them on Facebook and I don't interact with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better talk. Sorry, guys. I'll reach out.
So where do we want to go? We're gonna lose the gram in 2 minutes, right? So let's look at wrapping. Yeah, because I think we've pretty much talked this one. We've covered a lot of ground, and I think at the end of the day, where we want to end up is to say that it's important to honor all the cultures within your home, whether it's your partner, your children, whatever. Just to be a respecter of persons, and that no matter what, it costs us nothing to be kind. If nothing else, we're investing in our chips in heaven. You're welcome, Joey. You're absolutely amazing. So yeah, on that. No, I'm not. Daniel said you're being nice. Yeah, I'm committed to it. I'm committed to being a good, godly, and decent person because at the end of the day, it's not about y'all. It's just me trying to get into heaven. And Instagram is bowing out in about 10 seconds. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. And we'll continue and finish up over here. Anybody on Instagram you can bounce over to the other platforms and watch the rest of the program.
Just vote.
Social cultures. Honor the social cultures. What are you referencing there?
Well, no, it's just honoring. Carla said social cultures too, and honor the cultures.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Daniel said honor the cultures. Carla had said social cultures. Yes, absolutely. And what are you referencing there? Social cultures too. There. Side note: 30-year Really? It's been that long? Dang. 30-year Gordon Bell reunion coming up. 30 years, huh? Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready for that. 30 years, huh? Yeah, I mean, okay. However, that's a very inflammatory statement there, Daniel, so I don't think I'm going to share it.
We old.
No, we're not old, Joey.
Just
seasoned. I like that. You know what? I used to say that I was going to be Peter Pan. I'd stay young forever until I realized that getting old is a privilege denied far too many. And I've come to the realization that not necessarily getting old, however, maturing and growing up has been a very enjoyable experience for me. Maturing, growing up, acquiring a certain level of wisdom has been a very rewarding experience, and I never thought it would be. I'm just making sure that I get all these family culture, school, friend culture, play, friend. Yeah. So your social circle, Carla, your social circle, your social groups, and I mean, I think that's what's suffering the most right now. Absolutely, we trust the truth. Absolutely, we trust the truth, Daniel. However, I don't see what it has to add to the conversation. That's all. That's all. What Daniel had said was that history shows that the Caucasians came out of the Caucasus Mountains, which is, I've read that as well.
And then explain which culture is being honored. And for us, see, that is very important because, yes, we have 4 different cultures in our home.
Jamaican, Indigenous,
Icelandic,
Ukrainian. Well, Canadian we can say, right?
Yeah.
We can say Canadian?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
To talk than type. Yeah, I have the same problem. You know how many times I wish I hadn't dropped out of typing in grade 9 or whatever it was? I mean, it was just so boring though. It was just so boring. It's a Q, W, 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 E, E, E. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was brain dead after 3 minutes. But I regret not having stuck it out. Absolutely. Yes, and that is the history. And the family culture, school friends culture, play friends culture, because those can be very distinct and different as well. And in that arena, I would say that it's important to stay involved, actively involved in the lives of your children. Know who their friends are, and don't feel that you're violating their privacy when you go into their phone. Now, I mean, you're not going to do that to your 16-year-old, and under the age for us inside the Simpson home. No way. Joey says she just took a DNA test and she found out she's part Nigerian. Wow, that's amazing. Good, yeah, good for you. And so Where was I there, sweetheart? I'm talking about the kids.
I'm just. You're too. Well, and then that's because we were talking about cultures, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, so the question becomes,
Yeah.
what culture what is Canadian culture? What is European culture? What is No,
she don't look.
no, she doesn't look Nigerian at all. However, yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, and I think that what the takeaway is just be a respecter of persons, as best as we're able, just to be a respecter of persons, and
And that's what it is knowing our history. Because for my history, what I was taught from my dad's side of the family, that Snorri, who is an Icelandic from back then, was actually one of the, not Europeans, but from oh my gosh, I'm gonna mess this so up.
Norwegian.
Yeah,
Norway?
from Iceland, right? So he was the first one to be born in Newfoundland. Yeah, North America.
The first Icelandic to
Before,
be born in North America.
yeah, because it was before Christopher Columbus. So, and then being indigenous, being up from this land, so it's kind of, I have to learn both sides.
And also, your great grandfather was the first Icelandic on these shores.
That's the one, Snorri.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, he was the first born here. He wasn't the first one that came to these shores. He was the first one born.
Born, yeah.
And also, cool fact alert, right? What's his name? Half Thor, Vermagnuson, World's Strongest Man. Game of Thrones. Yeah, distant cousin. We invited him to the wedding, but he didn't show up. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, distant cousin. Yeah, no, I kid you not. Yeah, he didn't come to the wedding though, so whatever. It's fine.
Joey, you haven't seen me dance. I got moves.
I believe you. Does anybody remember those high school dances? You guys remember those high school dances? We used to have dances over lunch hour. Or roller skate dances, roller skate. God bless you, cousin Diane. Good to see you again. God bless you. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you so much.
But that's what the kids don't dance anymore these days.
No.
It's sad.
But I mean, the roller skating thing was like a lesson in like who was the unpopularest kids in school. It was like so traumatic because they'd have all the girls line up on one side, they'd have all the boys line up on the other side, right? And then they'd play like Stairway to Heaven or some nice little slow jam, and then you were supposed to skate across the other side and ask a girl to dance.
You struggled with that?
I didn't dance one time, baby. I did not dance one time.
Well, let's
I
pick
did
roller
not
skates and let's
dance
dance,
one
babe.
time. I didn't. No, that's too painful a memory. I don't even want to go back there. I mean, it was so. What a horrible experience. You go and do these you go and do this to little boys that are not confident, and you're supposed to walk up to a white women at that. Because you had to act one way with the parents, act another way with your school friends, then another way with your social circle. So tolerance and respectfulness is always facts. Thank you for taking the time to type that out. And that was well worth the wait. Yes, you had to. I mean, because I acted a certain way with my friends, and I acted another way at home. Nobody asked you either. That was horrible. Like, I mean, well, why would you do that to kids? Like, I mean, or maybe I don't know what would have been better. Would have been better because girls are more outgoing, right? So it would have been better maybe to have the girls ask. But then that would have been just as devastating because you're the only guy that didn't get asked. It was horrible. It was horrible. Roller skating was great. The roller skating dances was great, but then whoever came up with that idea of the slow dance at the end of the night, that was horrible. That's a no-go.
And
they shouldn't have done it.
You're calling the kids bougie? You grew up bougie.
How you mean bougie?
Roller skates. How was I supposed to roller skate out on the res? Wow.
Side note, 30-year again, Joey. Really? Yeah. Okay.
History shows
Okay.
I came.
Caucus came
Oh,
from
wait,
Chin.
you gotta go.
Oh
You're
no,
way
I
up.
did. No. You know what happened? How did we? What happened?
Okay, go down.
I'm going down.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you.
Oh, okay. You had to act one way. Okay. I had a question. Daniel said I had a question that just popped into my head. Carla is apologizing again and being all too Canadian. Joe, I agree. Nightmare. Yep. Diane, nope. Good one, Rich.
Yeah.
Okay. No, caught up on the questions. Let's have your question, Daniel. No problem. And yeah. So what? Are we gonna go rollerblading for this 30 or skateboard roller skating for this 30-year reunion thing?
No, I think we just gotta go plan our family thing again. We went on one of my birthdays
We went to Wheelies when Wheelies was still opened up over here
on
on
Logan.
yeah, Logan, close to McPhillips, and we found out actually Wheelies has reopened and they're practicing social distancing and everything. They are down on Main Street, right across from there's an IGA down there, almost at Jefferson, and they've reopened down there. So good times roller skating, you know. And
So yeah, ladies, we're gonna have to go.
yeah, you know what
With
we
the
got to do?
kitties.
Let's
Okay.
go. Let's go karaoke. Let's do karaoke when the weather. I love karaoke. I mean, yeah, we do karaoke. Karaoke's fun. You know what they should do? They should do karaoke and combine karaoke and roller skating. And maybe we can. That's a business venture. Let's open up a karaoke roller skating bar. Karaoke
Okay.
roller skating. Okay. Daniel's question.
So, are we all genetically equal? If we are, how could you give an example to your answer? If we are not, what? And that would be the Geneve. As for my
Are we genetically equal? Karaoke, right? Right, cuz karaoke rocks. Sounds like a date. Let's go. Either we're coming out to Calgary or you're coming to Winnipeg. Karaoke does certainly rock. In answer to Daniel's question, are we all genetically equal? If we are, how could you give an example to your answer? If not, what example can you give to support your answer? Next time in Peg. Perfect. My answer to that question is, are we all genetically equal? My answer is quite simply, why does it matter?
We're all designed.
Why does it matter? I mean, this idea of one race being superior to another is what got us in this mess in the first place. And for me to now see, there's a great section of the population of the black community that feel that they won't have justice until they've supplanted the white man at the top of the tower, if you would. My thought process on that is that it makes no sense to me to cut off the head and replace it with the tail, because we're still in the same place. That's not growth, that's not progress, that's not movement. That's
And that's
still
not
oppressive.
equality.
That's not equality. I strive for equality. I don't want to replace the power. I don't want to put black people at the head so that we can look down on white people. I want to find a way that we can just coexist peacefully. That's truly what's in my heart. I've no interest in who's superior and who's, I think humility looks good on everyone. Again, that's just my opinion. So in answer to your question, I honestly don't believe it matters. And I mean, yeah, I'm genetically superior, genetically inferior.
That doesn't solve all our problems.
It does nothing to solve it. All it does is create a new set of problems. And it keeps us in the barrel, distracted, running around fighting the wrong battles. I can't do that anymore.
Oh, wow, look at the time, baby.
Yeah, we went, yeah. You said that Uncle Tom sliding in, that was not the question. You gave no answer. I believe I did. It's not the answer you were looking for. It's not an answer that you approve. However, it's an answer nonetheless. I honestly don't feel that it matters. It doesn't. Like I said, I've transcended the idea of color. I really have. That's just none of that. It's just distracting. It's just Black Lives Matter. How is it distracting? Of course, Black Lives Matter. Don't be ridiculous. Blue lives matter. Of course, blue lives matter. White lives matter. Of course, white lives matter. You see, the thing is that we're all so busy running around labeling each other, being offended at what everybody has to say. We're just so distracted. We're just so distracted. We running around distracted with each other and fighting this battle, fighting that battle, going up on that cross, laying down on this cross, that we miss the point. And the point is simply this. We have the ability to rise above this, resonate at a higher frequency, and by grace, manifest our best life.
And I think you answered wrapping up everything just by manifesting a good life. And that's where we are. So let's wrap her up. It's already 1:15. And
no, baby. It's we've been recording for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's my bedtime.
So, thank you all for those of you that stopped in. And thank you, Joey. Joey says, thanks, guys. Great combo. We do this every night at about this time. And we'll continue to until we run out of content. And I mean, I got 45 years worth of content. Oh, God bless you all. And let's do this again tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad